section 7.1, which is using fundamental identities. So the first thing you see on the first page on the top, these are the important identities. We always going to use it. And here's the advice. Try to memorize it. If you're memorizing, you know which one you're gonna use when you're solving the examples, okay? So you see how many? These the main identities. We're always going to use it. And we always know sine is the opposite of cosecant. Cosine is the opposite of secant. So if you look here, this one with the secant, you see these two? Is one opposite the other one. To find sine, I can say 1 over cosecant. To find cosecant is 1 over sine. The same thing here. Cosine 1 over secant. Secant is going to be 1 over cosine. Is that hard? You just have to know secant with cosine and cosecant with sine. One, the reciprocal for the other one. Tangent is with cotangent. Is that hard? Tangent, we already know the tangent is sine over cosine. And I know the tangent is the reciprocal of cotangent. That means the cotangent is cosine over sine. So now, I know the sine goes with the secant. Yes or no? No. The sine goes with what? Cosecant. Sine 1 over cosecant. Cosecant 1 over. This is the first one. I know the cosine goes with secant. That means cosine is going to be 1 over secant. Secant is going to be 1 over cosine. That's the second one. I know the tangent goes with the cotangent. Tangent is going to be 1 over cotangent. Cotangent is going to be 1 over. Tangent is sine over cosine. That's when cotangent is going to be cosine over. Is that how? These are golden identities. The next step. Sine square plus cosine square equal what? 1. 1 plus tangent square equal secant. 1 plus cotangent equal cosecant. Before moving to the next step. I'm telling you the first identity, which is sine. We have sine square. Let's say u, the same identity. Plus cosine square to the u equal what? 1. Check here. From this identity, can I say sine square to the u equal 1 minus cosine square u? Yeah, that means moving the cosine to the other side. And I can say on the same time, cosine square to the u equal 1 minus sine square to the u. You guys, so always when you have 1 minus sine square u, you can say it's a cosine square. 1 minus cosine square u is it's what? Sine square u. You got it? And if you want to use, so the main thing you have to know how to use it to get the same result, the result you want, okay? Probably you can use this one, probably you want to use this part or this one. It's up to you. It depends about how you're gonna use it. So now we have 3 rules, 2 rules here. This is the third one, 4th and 5th. Okay? Now let's go to the second one. The second one, it says 1 plus tangent square equal what? 1 plus tangent square u equal what? Equal secant. secant square to the u. That means I can get also two rules. I can say tangent square to the u equal secant square u minus 1. Secant square u minus 1. Just moving the 1 to the other side. You got it? So this is the main rule, but I'm getting partial rules from it.
Can you put the negative one in front of the secant?
Negative 1, that means negative 1 plus secant square, yes, you can do that. But negative 1 plus secant square u is very fine. Now, I can say, what else can I get from this rule? I can say-
one equals secant square u minus tan square u.
Yes, that's me, I can move the tangent to the other side. So I can say secant square u minus tangent square u 1. Moving the tangent to the other side. So maybe secant square minus tangent equal 1. So I get another two rules from here. Can I do the same thing with the third one? Number 3, which is 1 plus cotangent square to the u equal what? Cosecant square u. I can get two rules again from this one. The first rule, I can say
Cotangent square u equals cosecant square.
that we move the 1 to the other side. So I can say cotangent square to the u equal cosecant square to the u and move the 1 to the other side, minus 1. And I can say the second rule, I can say cosecant square to the u minus cotangent square to the u is going to be equal. You got it? So from these three rules, you can get all these. So the main thing, if you remember the first rule, you can just keep the side you want and move everything to the other side. Keep the tangent, move the negative 1 to the other side. You got the point? So these are another extra, not extra rule, it's partial rules. Next rules, it says what? Yes. Every time when you see the angle here, it's pi over 2, pi over 2, pi over 2, pi over 2. So everything is pi over 2. When you see sine pi over 2 minus u, is going to be what? Cosine u. When you see tangent pi over u, pi over 2 minus u is going to be cotangent. Sine with the cosine. Tangent with cotangent. Secant with cosecant. You got it? Cosine is gonna go back with what? With the sine. So cosine go back with the sine. Cotangent go back to the tangent. Secant go back. Cosecant go back to the secant. You got it? So if you just look to it, it's not that much hard. But always when I see pi over 2 minus, for example, pi over 2 minus x is going to be sine pi over 2 minus x is going to be cosine x. When you see tangent pi over 2 minus x is going to be cotangent x. If I see secant pi over 2 minus pi is going to be cosecant pi. You see where is the change? Only is going to be here.
Is it always gonna be in radian mode or is it gonna be in degree mode sometimes?
Always remain. Always. And you're gonna tell you 90 minus u. And I've never seen this one, but I see always I don't know.
Oh.
What about the second one? Even and odd identities. Look to all these functions. The only difference you will see sine to the negative angle. Sine to the negative angle is going to be negative sine u. That means sine negative pi over 2. sine negative pi. You got it? So when you have negative sine with negative is going to be negative sine. Cosecant negative angle is going to be negative cosecant. So I know this one is giving me negative. And what else? These also gave me negative. Tangent negative u is going to be negative tangent u. Cotangent negative u is going to be negative cotangent u. The only positive is cosine and secant. Cosine negative angle is going to be cosine u. Secant negative angle is going to be secant u. You got it? So keep in your mind, when you have negative angle, the only one is going to be positive is what? Cosine and secant. The last two identities just I use them by that computer. What they're telling you. Number one. Tell me, sine square u plus cosine square u equal what? Let's see, we don't have one here. Get the second one. Secant pi over 2. Always you're gonna go to the first page. Remember when I told you always when you see pi over 2, secant pi over 2 minus u is going to be what? Secant goes with? Yeah, so it's gonna be cosecant u. That's it.
The U be in parentheses.
It doesn't matter in fact, but if you want to put the angle in parentheses, it's fine. To saying that this is an angle for this is the angle for cosecant. You can write it down like this, or you're just gonna write down cosecant u. But you have to make sure it's an angle for cosecant. Like for example, if I have 4 cosecant pi, can I multiply 4 with the pi?
No.
Why? 4 is a number, pi is what?
The angle of cosine.
Which is the angle, yeah, the angle for the cosecant. That's why sometimes they put in parentheses, so they say, okay, 4 I can't multiply with the pi because it's an angle. The same thing if you have cosecant pi times 4. Can I multiply 4 with the pi? No, because 4 pi is an angle 4, you can write down here. You got it?
Is that so for, for two?
No. These just
That's right.
external notes. What about the third one? Cotangent square x minus cosecant square x equal what? Which is this one. Move this one to the other side, so you do the result of what? One. I'm just gonna write down 1. So far, is that okay? You know?
What's the square box thing? Like, what? It's just.
Number 3. This is the mineral, right? Which is, it says, I'm talking about number 3, is 1 plus what? Cotangent square equal cosecant square. Okay. Now I need to get exactly the same thing here. Which one is first?
Cotangent.
Cotangent. That's mean. If you keep the cotangent here,
That's gonna turn into a negative, so you.
no, wait. I'm gonna keep the cotangent here. Then I'm going to move the 1 to the other side.
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen?
Turns into a negative.
Which one is gonna be negative?
Number one.
Okay, so it's gonna be cotangent square u equal cosecant square u. Let's put it here. Minus 1, right?
Yeah, so then you would move the cosecant back over.
Yeah.
To make it negative, yeah.
Yes, so now it's gonna be cotangent square u minus cosecant square u equal -1. You see, that's what's different on these two rules. Because cotangent first. Cotangent minus cosecant squared, so the result is going to be what? Negative. You got it now? It's just moving which side to the other side.
Just manipulate.
Yeah, like keep moving this one until you get the same formula. Because that's what we're gonna use on the next examples. Any questions so far? Ready for the next one? Check the next one. They're telling you prove that every time. When you see prove that, you have to walk on one side and the result is supposed to be equal to the other side. I need to prove that cosine x times what?
1 plus 10 squared.
Times the square x. I need to prove everything here equals secant square, secant x. There is no square. Now check here. It's cosine x times 1 plus tangent square to the x, and here's parentheses. That means this one times this one. Okay. Look to the identities. 1 plus tangent square x equal what? 1 plus tangent square u equal?
Secant squared x.
That means this part is secant square to the x. And what I have here? Cosine x. Did I get the second side? No. Until now, no. So what I have to do? Keep going. Cosine, here's cosine x. Cosine x times. Secant goes with which function? Go back to the first page. Secant goes with the cosine. Is secant is the reciprocal of cosine?
So it's just one.
So secant square, here is the cosine. Secant square is 1 over cosine square to the x. Yes or no? Now, can I cancel this cosine with this cosine? Because I have 2 cosines here. I'm gonna cancel one from here, one from here. What's the left?
1 over cosine.
1 over cosine x. 1 over cosine x equal what?
Secant.
Did I get the second side? So always when you have a proof that, start with one side, use the identities until you reach the second side. That's mean. Here's the cosine. I use one of the identities. It says 1 plus tangent square equals secant. Now I'm gonna write down the cosine. Secant square is 1 over cosine square. Cancel the cosine because I have 2 cosine here. Cancel 1 with 1. The left is 1 over cosine, which is equal what? Secant. Yes or no? Can we do the same thing with the next example? So I'm gonna start with this side. I'm gonna say cotangent to the x times secant to the x. Oh, my goal is to get cosecant. So how am I gonna do that? Think about that. First of all, do you have square?
No.
There is no square. That's mean I'm not gonna use these identities. You got the point? Because there is no square, I can't use these. So I'm gonna use which one?
Or regular.
Okay. Now, cotangent and secant. Secant goes with which function? With cosine. That's mean. Here is the secant, which is 1 over cosine x. What else? Cotangent is what?
1 over tangent.
Okay, but 1 over tangent is not gonna go with the cosine. Is there another rule for cotangent?
Oh, yeah,
it's
so
got
1
it.
over time,
Which is cosine over?
sine.
So yes, tangent I have 2. I can use tangent 1 over cotangent or cotangent equal 1 over tangent, right? But I have another rule, it says cotangent equal cosine over sine. So I'm gonna use this one. So I'm gonna say here, the cotangent equal cosine x over sine x. Now, can I cancel this cosine with this one? Yes or no?
Yes,
What's the left?
then 1/.
Sine x, yes, because this, here's one, times one is going to be one. Sine x times one is going to be sine x. Now, 1 over sine x equal what?
Cosecant.
Cosecant. I said all the keys on the first page. Now, look here. I need to prove that this side equal secant square. So I'm going to start with with this side. So I'm gonna say secant square to the x minus 1 over sine square to the x equal. I'm not gonna say equal because I need to prove this side is equal secant. So you see what I did? I'm just going to write down the first side. Now let's look for the top part. Secant square x minus 1 equal what?
Tangent squared u. Or tangent squared.
Secant square u minus 1 equal what? Tan, okay, that's mean instead of secant square minus 1 is going to be tangent square x. Divide everything by sine square to the x. Is
So
that-
we could use those.
Yes, you can. That's why we wrote it on the board.
As long as you have a square.
As long as you have a square, always try to use these. Okay? Now, what's the next step? My goal was what? I didn't do anything. Check here.
Yeah, like, use.
You confused with which one?
Which one?
It's real.
Identity.
The identity, check here, what we have here. Secant square x minus 1
Mhm.
on this board. You remember when we wrote the partial? Secant square u minus 1 equal what? So I'm gonna put,
Okay, got it.
you got it? I'm telling you, no, if you confuse with the small details, just ask. Now, my goal is to get what? Secant. So keep in your mind, secant is the opposite of what? Cosine, okay? That's mean I have to reach this part. 1 over cosine is going to be equal secant. Secant square, that means I have to reach this part. 1 over cosine square is going to be what? Secant. Can I get 1 over cosine square from these?
No.
Don't say no. We can. So now, tangent, give me a function. Tangent equal what? You can't, because we need to cancel the sign.
So we just start opening.
So it would be 1 over cosecant.
No, you can't.
1 square.
1 over
tan-
Sine square over cosine.
Tangent is sine over cosine? Yes or no?
Yes.
So I'm gonna plug in, and instead of tangent, I can say sine square to the x divide by what? Cosine square x, and everything divide by tan square to the x.
Oh, wait, then.
Oh, wait,
It's this one.
Who's lost?
I am. Wait, one. The identity.
Look to the
Well, I don't
identity.
know what to do after.
Tangent,
Along.
tangent sine over cosine?
What's called this?
No.
No, just go ahead, ask.
Oh, I just said I didn't know what to do after.
Okay,
Okay.
you got it?
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Can I write down?
Do you multiply it by 1 over some?
Don't you cross it out?
Cross out what?
Wait,
Like sine over sine?
So sine and sine.
Yeah, after you just cross it out, yeah.
So,
Okay, but here's the thing. Can I write down
1 over?
Gonna write down sine square over one.
And then flip it.
Now, yes, this is division, right?
Yeah, right side.
So I'm gonna write down the top part, which is sine square to the x over cosine square x times what?
The reciprocal,
The reciprocal of one over,
cosine over.
okay. Now, can I cancel the sine with the sine?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the rest?
1 over cosine squared x.
Cosine square to the x, which is equal what? See. What's the question?
No, because we wrote like a. Extra.
You mean you have to
So,
flip it?
like,
It's already
I
proven.
just brought
It
them
already
out
equals
right
it.
You can do that, that's fine.
You did it yourself.
But I know what you're gonna do. If you cos the sine with the sine, you can tell me it's cosine, the result's going to be cosine, which is
No,
one.
I just put the one.
One here.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
You always.
Once you put numbers, or like.
Which number?
The one.
You wanna put number as well?
To get for eggs.
You don't have to put numbers, don't
If
make,
there was,
no, there is no.
oh, there never will be.
Yes.
Oh.
Our goal is to prove this side equal this side, that's it. You don't need any numbers, okay? We need to prove. We need to prove this side equal this side. So I'm going to start from here. Cosine square pi over 2 minus x over what? Cosine x, there is no u. Now, remember when I told you every time when you see pi over 2, you have identity that says pi over 2?
Would it be sign?
Sign.
It's gonna be sine of, because the rule says, if you have cosine, pi over 2 minus u is going to be what?
Sign.
Perfect. Here is the rule.
But it's squared.
Perfect. So what I'm
Both
gonna,
sides.
so if it's square here, you're gonna do what?
Oh,
So-
you put it, there's
Yes.
no like other rule.
No, there's no other rule. Just put it.
I mean, there's
So
no
now-
rule, so it seems there's another.
So here's the thing. Look here. Do you have u? Because here it says pi over 2 minus u. That's why we put u here. But here we have what? So I'm gonna say this is equal what?
Sign squared x.
Sine square x.
Oh, tangent.
Over over what?
Oh, tangent is cosine over cosine.
Now, but be careful. We have sine and have tangent.
Um,
How you gonna get these two sides from here?
Change cosine now.
Oh, let's see. My goal is to find what? My goal is to find sine and tan, right? And now I reach this step. What I have to do to get sine and tangent? No, don't use these.
Oh,
Don't overthink it. How many sine do you have on the top?
two.
Two.
Can I write down this as a sine x times sine x
Yeah.
over what?
Over cosine.
Cosine x, yes or no?
Yes.
If you look to this side here,
Oh.
this is what? This is tangent. So this one is going to be tangent x, and what's the left? Is that the same thing here?
That's crazy.
Is that the same thing here?
Sure.
You got it now?
Okay.
She said, here's the thing, there is more than one way to solve it. Probably I solve it different way.
One way is fine.
Yeah, yeah, your way is super fine. She said, okay, tangent is the reciprocal of cotangent, right? Because there is a rule that says, it says, here. There is a rule that says tangent theta or x or u is 1 over what? Cotangent, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna start from this side, just tangent theta cotangent theta over secant theta. Okay, tangent is 1 over, so 1 over cotangent,
Times cotangent, cancel out.
yeah, times cotangent, here is the theta, right? And everything divided by secant what? Theta. You're gonna cancel this one with this one. What's the rest on the top?
1 over secant. Which equals to the.
1 over secant equal what? You got it? No, it's challenging, but accept the challenge. Write down, because that's my goal. Prove this side equal sine square. So I'm gonna say tangent square to the x minus what?
And it's where the
Times sine square to the x. Now I need to prove this one equal this side.
You do sine x over cosine?
No, don't overthink it. Because our sine square, I have all these square. But think about that. No. I'll give you a hint. Here on the side. What are you gonna do if you have
Inverse.
4x minus 2?
Oh, add it.
No.
Well, let's.
I don't say the world goes gonna,
Simple.
if you want to simplify this one, how do you want to simplify?
Divide negative.
No. The what? Factor 2 is gonna be x minus 2x minus 1, right? You factor out 2 because it exists here and here. Now, can I do the same thing here?
But is this all
I
now?
guess.
But doing what?
Two.
No. Here is the minus, right? Right? I have tangent here and tangent here. That means tangent exists on this term and tangent exists on this term. Can I factor out the tangent out?
Yes.
So I'm gonna say, okay, this is equal. Tangent square to the x. What's the left from this side?
1.
Minus. What's the left from this side? No, because we're gonna factor out the tangent. The sine square to the x. Until now, is that okay? Now, what's the next step? What's the next step? 1 minus sine square. Go to the floor. Go to me. 1 minus sine square x equal what? Okay, so I'm gonna say here's the tangent square to the x times what?
Oh, cosine.
Cosine square to the x. My goal is to get sine. Okay. Now what's the next step? I have cosine. My goal is to get sine.
Sine over
So,
cosine.
okay, tangent equal what?
Sine over cosine.
So tangent is sine square over what? Cosine square x times, and here's cosine square to the x. Now, can I cancel this one with this one? What's the left? Which is the right side. That, they're telling you prove that, that's mean. I have to start with this side. And the result is going to be equal. The right side. The left side is 1 minus 2 cosine square to the x plus cosine to the power 4 to the x. This one. He gave you the key. But she doesn't know how to use it.
I can only take so much.
So we're gonna
Sorry,
open two
but-
parentheses. Here's the first one, and here's the second one. I'm talking about one minus two cosine squared to the x plus what? Cosine to the power four x. This one will what? I'm gonna open two parentheses. Yes or no?
Yeah.
One, can I write down one here and one here? Cosine to the power four, can I write down cosine square here? And cosine square here? Yes or no?
Yes.
I have negative, positive times negative, negative. Negative times positive, negative. If you FOIL, you're gonna go back here. Yes or no?
Wait, why the negative?
Yes or no? You got it?
Yeah.
Kind of. One minus cosine square for what? One minus cosine
Sine.
square,
Sine square.
sine square to the x. One minus cosine to the x. Multiply these, how much going to be?
Sine.
Sine to the power four to the x.
Well, wait, how did you get the negative? Sorry,
Which negative?
like the one minus cosine.
Oh, the negative?
Yeah.
What I did, I always use this method to make a guess. What's the sign of the one?
Positive.
Positive times negative. Negative.
Okay.
And then negative times positive. Negative.
Okay.
But it's not gonna work the whole time. But the main thing, I'm gonna start with this guess, and then if I FOIL these, you're gonna go back here.
So, is that called the FOIL method?
This is factoring. The FOIL method, when you FOIL these, you're gonna go back here.
And then also that, the other one is just factoring.
It's just factoring.
So my other question is,
And I'm telling you, there is more than one way. Maybe you're gonna work with other method is fine. But I think this is the easiest one.
we're now.
Tell me, how are we gonna solve this one? We need to simplify. We have two tangent negative x equal cosine times cosine x. Now look to the tangent as well. Is negative angle. So I already know when I have tangent to the negative u, negative angle equal what?
Negative 10.
Negative tangent to the u. So I'm gonna say, okay, here's two, this one equal. Two, the tangent negative x is negative tangent to the x, yes or no? And here is the cosine x. Negative times two is negative two. Tangent x times what? Cosine x. Now what's the next step? Tangent equal what? So here is negative two. Tangent equals sine over cosine x times what? Cosine x. Can I cancel these? So what's the like? Negative two. Yes, I saw the five, the lowest.